It's a beautiful night here at Catholic High for an alumni dinner. We hate that we can't host it this year, but we thought we'd still take a tour. Our class of 2002 plaque, very fitting to what we do here. Here's the class of 2003 seal, the cornerstone from the State Street building given by the class of 2015, creating a new time capsule. And over here, the original time capsule that was in there. Our office, our Iwo Jima statue given to us by Governor Sid McMahon. At the class of 2020, we know they're looking forward to their one-year reunion this coming summer. The class of 85, a lot of good guys looking forward to their reunion this year. Class of 1980. The Harry Hastings TV studio. The old typing room. Class of 75. Mr. Moran's old room. You can still hear the dice rolling in there. Class of 70. And just across from it, Father Fred's class, class of 55. Class of 65. And the class of 60. Just outside the back parking lot, and Titus's pen, home to all of those Catholic High dogs. Geese's room right here, 209. Class of 2010, we know they were looking forward to their 10-year reunion. Class of 2005. We look forward to all those reunions they're gonna host next year. Miss Hunter's room, the only air-conditioned room in the building for a long time. The auditorium. Class of 2000, the originators of the intramural five-pointer. Mr. Straessle's room down the hall, the class of 95, back of the auditorium. That takes us to the class of 1990, and the top part of the Stephen Oswald Memorial Elevator given by the class of 85. This whole wing used to be the priest quarters, and you can see that we still have priest quarters all the way at the end of the hall. To our main stairwell, the Richard Altoff Memorial Tapestry. And Titus left a toy up here.
Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to the 2020 Alumni Dinner virtual format. I am here to present the awards on behalf of the Foundation Board. But before I do, I want you to take a moment and listen. Hear that? Silence. This time you ought to be able to hear every speaker and what is said. Our first recipient of the Honorary Alumnus Award is a woman who has shown outstanding service to Catholic High for 25 years. She has worked diligently every day in helping to ensure that the school runs smoothly, and she handles more than you can imagine behind the scenes. And everyone knows her as one of the hardest working people at Catholic High. She has also dedicated herself and her spring break to making our junk teak sale an annual success. I am proud to give and present the Honorary Alumna Award to Mrs. Joan Finnegan.
Mrs. Finnegan, it is my honor on behalf of the Foundation Board to present to you the Honorary Alumni Award of the Year for all your work and dedication. There you go.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, 25 years.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Our next recipient of the Honorary Alumnus Award is a teacher who has also shown outstanding service to Catholic High for 25 years. She has taught thousands of students over her 2 teaching stints, chairs the English department, and sponsors the yearbook, the Rocket Times, and the journalism program. She was recognized as Sponsor of the Year by the Arkansas Scholastic Press. She is a valued and trusted member of our staff and is always sought out for her counsel and advice. I am pleased to give this Honorary Alumna Award to Mrs. Gretchen Gowan.
Mrs. Gowan.
It's the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, well.
Why are you up here?
I've got a job to do. On behalf of the Foundation Board, I want to present to you the Honorary Alumni Award for this year.
Oh my goodness! Okay, so now I'm a graduate of both St. Mary's and Catholic High.
You got it.
Wow, that is
You got
very
it.
cool. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
It's so nice to be appreciated. That's so great. Thank
You've
you
done a
so
lot of
much,
work.
Father.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here goes Gowan.
Our final award is that of the Alumnus of the Year, the one who has been dedicated to Catholic High for more than half his life. He was an officer of his class of 1980. He served as a coach, and more importantly, as a teacher. The impact he has made on his students in his 35 years of teaching is immeasurable. And the life lessons he imparts to his students has made him one of the most liked members of our faculty. He makes his subject come alive to his students, and his class is one of the most popular classes on our campus. He does his job the best way he can, and does so not for pride or glory, but simply to impart knowledge to young men of our school so that they are prepared to live better lives. He is constantly sought out for advice and help. As a member of the faculty, he can always be counted on to show up and do what is needed to be done. And he does all of this in hopes of receiving 0 credit. He would be embarrassed hearing me say all this about him, and he will probably be embarrassed even to receive this award. I am honored to give the Alumnus of the Year award to Tom McGeese Handloser.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Handloser, going to interrupt your class for just a moment.
Okay.
All right? You come around here. On behalf of the Foundation Board, we want to award you the Alumnus of the Year Award for this year, for all the work that you have done in the school and everything. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm embarrassed.
That's all right. Good to be embarrassed once in a while.
All right. Thank you, Father.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Wow. That's quite a shock.
Yeah, I knew it would be.
Oh, I don't know what to say. So,
Right, say thing.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for all your work and dedication.
Thank you, Father. Thanks, guys.
For my final act, it is my privilege to introduce the person you know best, our fearless leader, Mr. Straessle.
Thank you, Father. Where do we begin? Since our last alumni dinner, like every other school in the country, we have had to reinvent just about every fine-tuned procedure that we have in place. After 90 years, we had to start all over again. And we told the boys, stay safe, stay strong, stay always a rocket. The pandemic lightened our school physically, but we balanced that load with a commitment to hard work and discipline, committing to deliver the Catholic High experience no matter what. Now, back in July, we sent a video of John Shields, a class of 41. Talk about a class that had to face uncertainty. He explained what it's like to live with uncertainty, to embrace the moment, to do your duty, to sacrifice without complaint, and move forward. And for us, since March, that's exactly what we have done. Our school year has been marked by a focus on safety and continuity of on-site instruction. Safety for obvious reasons. We have to protect our students and their families. We have to protect our teachers and staff and their families. But continuity of on-site instruction is also rooted in protection. You know, every vulnerability that our students have been exacerbated by this pandemic. Vulnerabilities of mental health have been exacerbated. Socioeconomic vulnerabilities created by immigration concerns or learning difference have all been exacerbated. And so being present takes on a new importance. The school now has more plexiglass than I wish to count. As you saw from Mr. Handloser's video, we have lecterns surrounded by shower curtains. We have one-way hallways. We have bottle fillers. And right outside, we have a giant tent. We have endured tech glitches, limited gatherings. We endured Hurricane Laura. There was a tropical storm warning in Little Rock. In Little Rock. 2020, have mercy on us, we would say, but the fact of the matter is we continue. But during that hurricane, I got a text from our secretary. She said, hey, there's a former student that needs to see you. Now I've told you this story before, but you guys really don't pay attention to me, and nobody can mute my microphone, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you again. But the fact is, this student texted or came through this hurricane to visit, and so the secretary said, the student's here to see you. I said, who is it? And she said, it's John Smith. I said, well, who's that? She said, well, he was here a few years ago, and I was trying to click through my memory, what would he possibly want? And so I get to the office, and he says, I recognize him. I give him a little fist bump, and he says, Mr. Straessle, I'm here to talk about the incident. And I froze. It is 2020. An incident can mean so many different things. So I ushered him into my office, and I shut the door. I said, okay, the incident. And he said, yeah, the one where I stole the money. And I started clicking through my memories. And I remembered a few years ago, there was somebody stealing money out of teacher desks. They were taking Coke money and fine money and so forth out of teachers' desks. It got so bad that we put up cameras and we caught the kid. And I called him to my office and I said, hey, have you been stealing money out of teachers' desks? He said, nope. I said, are you sure? He said, I'm sure. I said, well, here's a video of you stealing money out of teachers' desks. And he goes, that's not me. I said, son, I'm looking at the video. I'm looking at you. It's you. He goes, nope, not me. He says, you've misidentified me and I'm leaving. And he walked out the door and he did not come back until that day of Hurricane Laura. And I said, yes, I remember the incident. And he said, well, I'm here to say I'm sorry. He said, I took money from teachers and they did not deserve that. And I said, well, it takes a big man to apologize. And he said, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. He said, any man ought to be able to do that. He said, but I took a lot of money from the librarian. Can I apologize to her? I said, sure. So I went and I got the librarian, Carrie Reynolds, and I brought her in. And I said, before we came in, I said, hey, John Smith's here. He's here to talk about the incident. And she said, what incident? I mean, she's been in education a long time. She gets rid of the bad memories to make room for the good memories. She said, I have no idea what you're talking about. I said, remember he stole money from you? She's like, I kind of remember that. And I said, well, he's here to apologize. And so I brought her in and she sat down and John Smith said, Miss Reynolds, I'm here to talk about the incident. And she goes, oh gosh, the incident. How could I forget the incident? And he said, I took a lot of money from you and I'm sorry. And I've got a job now and I'm going to repay you. And she stopped him. He kept going though. He said, just back then I had nothing. I had no one at home. And she stopped him again. She said, I have been in situations where I have felt like I had nothing and dumb things happen in those situations. But look at you. You're back here making it right. Now, one of the great strengths of this school is its stubborn refusal to consider a boy's shortcomings as the final word as to the man that he is going to become. If he's tough, if he learns, if he has the strength to adapt, we know he's going to be okay. And likewise, this school, going through these challenges, we've had to be tough, we've had to learn, and we have had to have the strength to adapt. Flexibility has become a battle cry. Duty remains a core principle. Many businesses and schools are throwing up their hands and saying, well, we'll give it a shot and it's good enough. Good enough. Good enough are two words that have never been strung together in the same sentence at Catholic High. Good is never enough. So we have had to be tough by enduring the sacrifice that has been thrust on us by opening to on-site instruction during a pandemic. We have had to be tough. John Shields and the class of 41, they left everything behind, put everything on hold. They rose to the occasion. And their legacy, this school is doing the same. You should see the boys these days. You would be so proud of them. They want to be back together with pep rallies and dances and so much more, but they do their duty today so that tomorrow is even closer. They have every reason to shrink. They have every reason to be less, but instead they are becoming more. It's amazing how they adapt. I was walking down the hallway and I overheard a conversation. One boy said, "Hey, I asked out that girl I've been talking to." Another boy said, "Well, what'd she say?" He said, "Well," I said, "Hey, you want to go out Saturday?" And she said, "I have a boyfriend." And I said, "I have a math test." And she said, "What does that have to do with anything?" And he said, I told her, "Oh, I thought we were talking about things we were going to cheat on." The boys still have their sense of humor. We have had to be tough, and we have had to learn as well the processes that we put in place that were over the top. We loosened. The processes, the procedures that were too free-flowing, we've tightened. We have learned to thrive in our new environment. We have been tough. We have learned, and we have had the strength to adapt. It seems like every day the news is filled with images of conflict, of selfishness, of dialogue beneath human dignity. But not here. Not here. The boys have met the moment. They understand the power of presence. And do you know why? Do you know why? Because of two things: their natural goodness and the teachers that you gave us to inspire them. The men and women that you gave us, they understand the gravity of their work. They understand the meaning of their model. They understand the power of their presence. They understand it and they embrace it. They want it. Yeah, I've never been so inspired to be associated with one group of people gathered together under the same roof, even on our bad days. It is so damn good. Now, like the young man who came through the storm to better himself, Catholic High will come through this storm better in every respect. We will do this. This relentless pandemic and raging opinion are no match for 90 years of producing the community's finest sons. As Father Tribu would say, we are not just going to survive, we are going to prevail. We are going to prevail. Now, none of this happens by chance. It's happened because of you, because of your investment in Catholic High. We have been able to meet this moment because you have given us the ability to hire the best and the brightest. Not just people who will teach subject matter in their classrooms, but they will teach the finer points of digging in when life gets tough, of perseverance when things don't go right, of lifting each other up, nurturing each other, and challenging each other to be better. You have given us inspirational teachers and staff, but we still need you. We still need you. We have families impacted by this pandemic. Their kids, they need financial aid so that this school remains so close to their reach. We have teachers who are working their fingers to the bone, and we need to support them. We need you to support the Catholic High Foundation. This is our mission. This is the legacy of the class of 41 and all those who came before and after. Because in the end, we as a community have got to ask ourselves just one question. Do we want to exist among those weak and timid souls that do nothing, try nothing, complain about everything? Or do we want to soar with rockets? As for me, As for us, and I know as for you, we are always, always, always Rockets. Thank you for joining us for our virtual alumni dinner. Thank you for helping us to stay always Rockets.
This class has a unique opportunity because no class has ever dealt with not having the last 2 months of your semester.
You guys have had to undergo a hardship that none of us could even conceive. You had to fight your way through a pandemic in order to get the Catholic High experience.
Those kind of things have been so difficult to deal with, but they are a baptism by fire. You now have the keys to success sitting in your pocket. What are you going to do with it?
You guys started out as some of the squirreliest freshmen that we've ever had. And that's not an exaggeration. Like, we were wondering how some of you got in. Now, junior year, though, that transformation took place. The metamorphosis, the process unfolded. In your senior year, you became Catholic High men.
Beginning of the year was a normal year. Everything went smoothly. And then out of nowhere, COVID-19 kicks us out of the building, can't go anywhere.
No one expected it. I had very much high hopes for this year. It kind of took a surprising turn, but it's definitely been a change.
We found out we were going to get out of school. At first it was a week and everyone was like, okay, that's not bad. But then they, got stretched out to the rest of the year.
We've converted our classes to online using Google Classroom and Zoom.
The most important thing that I love about Catholic High is the interactions I have on a day-to-day basis with my classmates, my teachers, and just the general atmosphere of the place. And it's really hard to recreate that over online classes.
It's not the same, it doesn't replace class, but I think it's the best that we can do right now.
It's kind of the only part of the day where we actually get to see each other.
The teachers were like, this is really going to put y'all to the test, let y'all know whether or not you're ready for college, because there's no one looking over your shoulder at home. Mom's not going to come in there and say, are you cheating on your test? Are you doing your homework? Are you studying?
I think it's a feeling that we would have felt after graduation, the fact that we haven't seen each other through the summer. And I think, this is kind of a glimpse at what our future is going to look like, but I think it also shows how strong we're going to stay after all of this.
Anytime you go through tough times, economically tough times, or public health tough times in your family, you look inward. You look at your own perseverance, your own sense of resilience.
Every challenge in a boy's life should be a comma. It should never be a period. This is where I am right now, and I'm going to continue. And every time I overcome a challenge, every time I meet that high expectation that I've set for myself, not only have I become better, but the community around me has become better. The legacy of this school has become better.
A lot of the traditions we can't really do anymore. We have adapted some of them, which is not what we wanted them to be when we were first seniors, but you have to do what you have to do to keep people safe.
Watching the seniors drive up and drop off a tie in a bucket so that we could do the tie burning ceremony are things that inspire me. You're keeping up with the traditions that generations before us did, but you're doing it in a way that adapts to the times you're in.
What you boys did is inspired those people who set about trying to inspire you.
We have this big class group chat, but it keeps the kind of whimsical camaraderie that we have together.
We talk almost every day about certain things like classes and whatnot and how we're coping with this. I've tried myself to check up on as many people as possible to see how they're doing during this time.
Next year, we'll go back to school, but we'll value that so much more, because it's been taken away. Coming out of this, we will be a new community, which will be super cool.
Through this, it's kind of brought us all together even more in a way. It kind of makes us hold on and cherish those memories that we had with each other, no matter how little they were.
And brought us all together in a way that I've never felt before.
The Catholic High experience is rooted in discipline,
perseverance, integrity, fun, and just loving one another like we're all brothers.
The friendships, the fun stuff that we do with our friends along the way. I mean, the pep rallies that we've had this year, they've been awesome. I've loved them. I think we've had great skits.
Sporting events at Catholic High are unlike any other school, I think. I mean, just because the atmosphere and the support that the student body shows for the athletes on the field, that's stuff that I always remember and I always enjoy.
It's the things in the classroom with the teachers. Mr. Mazzery, freshman year of world history, that was a class. He screamed "gentlemen" at us way too many times.
My English teacher, the way he went about things, and he still does things, puts a smile on my face seeing how the other kids get to experience what I experienced.
We had Father Friend as our religion teacher, and we would write these reflections for him, and he would look over them. I don't know how he had all the time, because he would write nice comments on them, and he would write a lot about it. It was Father Friend's birthday. Senior class had organized. We were all going to go to Mass that morning. I mean, we were engaged in the Mass, and that chapel was full. And I think it says something. Guys who show up before school to grow in faith with their brothers.
We said your integrity should be on full display at all times, and it was. And we said, you are good men, now act like it. And you did. You gave us hope by showing up to all these Zoom meetings and Google Meets and showing up to you and still doing your work. And that is you blanketing yourself in hope and deciding that, despair is for another day.
When I look back at my time at Catholic, and the reason that I tried to spend so much time back here is it's not because of the year that I was leaving, it's because of the years that I was here. The memories that I have here are all things that were incredible about being here. It was awe-inspiring. There are things that you can't put into words because I'll never be able to explain it to friends.
When the chips are down, and keep us blessed and safe. Be resilient, be of cheerful service, and know that it's going to be a brighter future.
Catholic High is going to last through anything. It'll stand the test of time, I believe. I mean, through situations like this or situations in the future, the teachers and faculty here still are going to do whatever they can to make sure that anybody, whether from home or actually at the school, is going to try their best to get the full Catholic High experience.
That's what I hope that you take into your lives, is that you can overcome. I mean, you've got it. Just keep going now. Don't slow down.
About to leave, already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for.
One of the things I'm looking forward to as I leave here is using the tools that Catholic High has given me to accomplish things at college.
I'm just happy that Catholics, kind of formed me into making the right decisions and always doing the right thing.
It's kind of sad though, because you're about to leave. You're about to leave all the people that you become so close with, but I really have enjoyed this year. Now I know a sense of brotherhood as far as like treating people the right way. Like that knowledge and knowing how to do that, I think it'll really help prepare me to different challenges I'll face in life.
Just to know that feeling whenever you get there, to know that you're prepared, I feel like that's going to be one of the best feelings coming out of this school, just to know that the traits that Catholic High gave you really prepared you for the next phase.
I'm proud of you boys because you earned your Catholic High diploma. You earned it. You know, you're our 90th graduating class, but really it all boils down to you. You are what we dreamed of, and I'm humbled and honored to have been your teacher.